Hello, Montclair Community Church. Welcome to your Monday afternoon devotional. Today I want to share with you Psalm 25. If your Bibles, open them to Psalm 25, the Psalm of David, and this is what we read. To you, O Lord, I lift up my soul. O my God, in you I trust. Let me not be put to shame. Let not my enemies exult over me. Indeed, none who wait for you shall be put to shame. There shall be ashamed who are wantonly treacherous. Make me to know your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. Lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation. For you I wait all the day long. Remember your mercy, O Lord, and your steadfast love, for they have been from old. Remember not the sins of my youth or my transgressions according to your steadfast love. Remember me. For the sake of your goodness, O Lord. Good and upright is the Lord. Therefore he instructs sinners in the way. He leads the humble in what is right and teaches the humble his way. All the paths of the Lord are steadfast love and faithfulness for those who keep his covenant and his testimonies. For your name's sake, O Lord, pardon my guilt, for it is great. Who is the man who fears the Lord? Him will he instruct in the way that he should choose. His soul shall abide in well-being, and his offspring shall inherit the land. The friendship of the Lord is for those who fear him, and he makes known to them his covenant. My eyes are ever toward the Lord, for he will pluck my feet out of the net. Turn to me and be gracious to me. I am lonely and afflicted. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. Bring me out of my distresses. Consider my affliction and my trouble, and forgive all my sins. Consider how many are my foes, and with what violent hatred they hate me. Oh, guard my soul and deliver me. Let me not be put to shame, for I take refuge in you. May integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait for you. Redeem Israel, O God, out of his troubles. Here we have David crying out to God, and there's a couple things I want to notice in this psalm. First, notice that David is fully reliant on God. He starts out, oh my God, in you I trust. He is laying himself in God's hands to protect him. And what he does is he asks for God in his sovereignty to change his situation, to bless him, and to forgive him of his sins. And he lays this all on God to do. But I want us to notice today why he believes God will do it. He believes God will do it if we look at verse 11. He says, for your name's sake, O Lord, pardon my guilt, for it is great. He says back in verse 7, according to your steadfast love, remember me, for the sake of your goodness, O Lord. Do you see what David is doing here? David is saying, God, I rely on you. God, I trust in you. God, I am ready for you to do what you will in me and to me, Lord. I am ready for you to take away my sins, not because of me, but because of who you are, God. You know, we have an interesting story in the book of Exodus as the Israelites had crossed the Red Sea and God had saved them from the Egyptians, and they come to Mount Sinai. And he gives the 10 commandments to Moses. And while Moses is up on the mountain with the Lord, we have the story of the golden calf, where Israel makes the golden calf because they wanted something visual. They wanted a visual representation of Yahweh to worship. And God tells Moses what's going on, and he says, Moses, that's it. These people, they are stiff-necked. They don't listen to me. I'm going to destroy them. And Moses intercedes for them in prayer. And notice what Moses does. Moses doesn't say, no, God, please, they were good people. No, God, please, I'm a good guy. No, he says, God, what will a nation say about you? This is not in your nature to do. This is not something God will do to save a people, declare that he will save them and then not save them. And we read that God relented. What we read here in the psalm is the same thing. David is saying to God, God, you are going to save me, not because of me, not because you have to, because of who you are, because you promised you would. God, you are going to protect me if I trust in you. Not because of me, not because of who I am, but God, because of who you are. This is important to know, because in these days now, in our country, in this world, as we're going through this trial that just seems never ending, as we're separated from our brothers and sisters physically, as life is just not normal, we may start to doubt. We may start to doubt ourselves. We may start to doubt our faith. We may start to wonder, God, where are you in all of this? But if we remember who God is, not what he's done, who he is, we'll realize God will never let us go. God will never stop protecting us. God's sovereign will never not be done. He has promised that those that he has called, he will save, that he will work all things for our good. And if we just remember that this is because of who he is, we'll realize this is an unchanging promise. God is who he is, always has been, always will be. And that means his promises are sure. That means that we as his people, there's nothing that can take us out of his hand. So I encourage you, just like David, place your trust in the Lord. Lay yourself at his feet in his hands and say, God, because of who you are, I am trusting you through this trial, through sickness, through whatever it may be you are going through. God has promised that he will protect his people, that he will save his people because of who he is. So never forget who he is. Let's say with David, to you, O Lord, I lift up my soul. Oh my God, in you I trust. And to the Lord today, we place our trust fully in him because of who he is.